welcome back to another episode of RC Icons. So, like the title of the video says, it's been another great week here at the RC Icon studio. We've brought in 3 new manufacturers again. I know there's another video, same title. It was just another week. And those manufacturers were obviously different. So that particular week we had brought in Nichimo, AYK, and 10th Technology. So this week we've brought in MRP. So we've got the Mrp Pro 110. This actually comes from Jason at True Vintage. Thank you, Jason. We actually, because I saw Glenn's video on RC Legends of the Panda, I went on a bit of a hunt and found a pandemonium that's absolutely in perfect condition. It's not, I guess, I mean, it's a rare car, but it's not it's not a valuable car, I guess I would say. And along with the pandemonium, I was able to get an original decal sheet to go with it and a manual. So that's huge. I actually ended up with, when I bought the decal sheet, I thought it was just one, and when they got shipped to me, there was 2 of them. So I actually shipped one off to Glenn, because I remember in his previous videos, he was talking about possibly restoring it and whether or not to use the MCI decals and restore it. So now it gives them the ability to restore the one that he has and use the original decal sheet and make it, you know, absolutely perfect. So like I said, we've got the MRP 110 this week. We've got the Pandemonium, the Varicon Pandemonium, and then we also have an Otaka Lamborghini Countach kit that came in. So I know you've already seen my new Inbox collection video. This was in that, so this video is kind of happening right after those 2 collection videos. So this was here, but what wasn't here in those 2 videos was my Super Shot kit, my Super Astute kit, and so those have both arrived in the last day. So I'm gonna let you guys have a quick peek of those when I bring the camera over. And then also what showed up actually today was the Riri Kyosho Optima Mid. A little bit let down in the Optima Mid only because it's not one of the first issues, so it doesn't have the Turbo Optima Mid decal kit in it. But it is what it is. They're not available in the United States yet. I ended up shipping one in from Hong Kong, and apparently it's a second release. I never picked up on it when I bought it, and originally I didn't see that it didn't have the Turbo Optima Mid decals. Not the end of the world, I guess. You can really only decal it 2 ways, so I'll just do the regular, you know, the Optima Mid decals, and that's fine. I may end up sourcing another one, and if I do, I'll make sure it's a first issue and has the Turbo Optima Mid decal set in it. So let me bring the camera over and I'll show you these cars. Alright, so I got you back. So yeah, the MRP 110 Pro. So this car came out around 85, 86-ish, I believe. To compete with the RC10. It never really did a whole lot on the race scene. So it's got an aluminum chassis, and then it's got an adjustable ball diff in the rear. The paint job on this is phenomenal. So Jason at True Vintage painted this up. He's got a video. Check out his video on this. I'll try to link it in the description. With this being a new channel, I'm still trying to figure out YouTube and how all that stuff works, so you'll have to excuse me if I can't figure it out. So you've got your body. So this body actually was sold as well as an aftermarket body to go on the SRB chassis for Tamiya, believe it or not. And if you look at it, it's got a lot of similarity to the Rough Rider. It fits right on. So you take the body off, and then you've got your driver figure, which is unique because it's a full radio gear cover. And I've never taken this off, so I apologize. Yeah, so it just pops off. So there's your driver figure, right? So Jason does awesome paint work. So then you've got your, it's supposed to be, I think, a fiberglass. Looks like FRP. Looks like FRP, but when you look it up online, they talk about it being a fiberglass upper deck. This one has aluminum wheels on it. There's not a whole lot of history on it. It says that they're chrome. Yeah, they're plastic. Chrome wheels. So those are the original wheels. And then what's unique about this motor, so adjustable ball diff in the back, but this car could be set up with a rear motor design or a mid motor design, which was kind of cool. You could set it up either way. So right here, I'm assuming this would be considered, I'm assuming that would be considered rear motor or mid motor, because the rear motor would be behind. So yeah, unique, very unique. You know, it's got dog bones, and then just very simple arms and suspension, a lot like the AYK early cars. So yeah, and this one's in absolutely gorgeous shape. So, you know, when he offered it to me, I had to have it for the collection. I asked him if he was going to run it, and he didn't think it was a good idea because of the plastics and how old they were. But I mean, it's got the original tires on it, and MRP tires. I mean, how do you say no to that, right? So yeah, just a gorgeous car. So they actually did, feels great. They did another version of this car, I guess, later on. I'm not sure if it was in the 90s or what, but it was like, it was almost like a version 2. And I guess a lot of it was the same. But apparently it went to A-arms in the front instead of, you know, this style. So yeah, I'm just excited to be able to add it to the collection. It's a great addition to what I've got going on here. And then if you watch Glenn's video on RC Legends, he's got his, I think it's AKM 777 Leopard. The chassis and everything is almost identical. But I mean, as a vintage car, just look at that thing. How sweet is that? You know, when you're talking 1984, 85, 86, it's just perfect. Absolutely great shape. So yeah, I'm stoked to have it. There's a rear guard that you can put on it as well. I've actually got it sitting right here. So there's a rear motor guard that can go on it if you do a rear mounted motor. So I'm assuming that's the mid mounted motor, and then if you do the rear mounted motor, that's like the guard for it. Got my hand right in the view. So yeah, it could be set up two ways. I think that's kind of unique. I don't know that I've seen that on any other vintage cars. And then Varicon Panda. So this one, it's in a different decal scheme than Glenn's. Glenn's had the black, you know, 3 black lines basically, and this one's in the yellow, red, and blue. So the decal sheet comes both ways. So you could have decaled this 2 different ways. So these are the decals that Glenn has on his. And then these are the decals that are on this one. So you can actually decal it 2 different ways. So that's the original decal sheet. And I was just psyched when I got 2 of them, because I knew he wanted to restore his, but he was questioning whether to lose the original decals. 1987. So, so yeah, he ran his. He had a little bit of trouble. He broke the front end a little bit. This one's in fantastic shape. The body screws on, so I can't take the body off. But look at that thing, right? Not a mark on it. Absolutely perfect. The bumper's broken, but the bottom of this thing is fine. So you can actually find parts every now and again on eBay for these things. So I'll probably source a bumper. You know, all I've got is time, so I'll find a bumper here at some point, and we'll get that changed over. And then this is the other manufacturer, right? So this is the Otaki Lamborghini Countach. This is in 1/12 scale. So this makes, I think, is it my 5th manufacturer? Or 3 manufacturers. This is my 3rd manufacturer. 5th Lamborghini Countach, all different. But my 5th manufacturer. So in 1/12 scale, what a beautiful kit. And that is absolutely getting built. So if you're not subscribed already, subscribe and turn off your notifications. Turn on your notifications, because you're not going to want to miss some of these builds. I'm excited to build it. Some people would be like, no, you're crazy. But I absolutely need to build it. And then the other kits that I was talking about, so this is your Optima mid Riri, and you can see up here it would have the Turbo Optima decals notation on it, and it doesn't. So this one has to be Series 2, because those ones are only coming in the initial. So this is no big deal, I'll be honest. So this is all over the internet already. Build videos and unboxing videos. I just wanted to show you guys that I have it. I'm not going to rip it apart. It's not really a big deal. But it's at least here, and it wasn't in my collection video, so I figured I'd show it to you. And then original Super Shot, right? So look at the box art on that. Just gorgeous. So beautiful box. And again, I'm trying to collect kits and for cars that I have where they had a great presentation, just because I like to look at them. And this definitely fits the bill. So these are the kind of kits. It's upside down. These are the kind of kits that I'm looking for. You get your Technopower motor that it came with, right? So I want to be able to break kits out like this and just look at them, or figure out a way to display them. And I do have a lot of them, but I think it's well worth the effort. The original decal sheet and manual. So that was another one that came in. And then one more that I wanted to show you in this video. This is just a quick video. So I showed you 3 Riri Super Astutes in my collection video. This is my original Super Astute. So obviously I'm not going to build this one on the show, because I want to keep a Super Astute new in box, again, just for the presentation. This one's in decent shape. This little leaflet over here is kind of loose, but right. So I've got my Astute, now I have my Super Astute. In the Dynastorm, so I've got my 2-wheel drives pretty well covered. And like I said in my collection video, I'll build a Riri Super Astute as a Super Astute for the collection. And then I'm going to build one custom, because I have Glenn's custom painted body from Attack RC, and I definitely want to showcase that. So let me put the camera back over, and I'll bring you back for a quick closing. One thing I forgot to say on the MRP 110, so this came with a mechanical speed control, but it was only forward and brake. There was no reverse. So this was offered as like a true race car to compete with the RC10. The diff feels absolutely gorgeous, but I'm not surprised, because Jason built this car and he's absolutely, you know, he's a racer. So his setups are pretty spot on. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, so this thing, again, adjustable ball diff, rear or mid motor configuration, mechanical speed controller with forward and brake, no reverse, came fully ball raced. So yeah, they were trying to compete however they could, and I just don't think it took off. You know, I think it kind of had that look and the characteristics of essentially an SRB. It's a little bit heavy, but you know, who knows, in the right hands it probably could have done some awesome laps. This thing, that blue was just ridiculous. Jason, if you're watching, dude, you build a superb car, and I'm honored to have that in the glass. So let me bring you back for a quick closing. So yeah, another great week here at the RC Icon studio. It's never a bad week when you're bringing in 3 new manufacturers to the collection. I love weeks like this. I mean, I'll be honest, I get excited over getting a couple of Tamiya kits come in. But to get, you know, cars like this and kits like this come in, it's obviously a special week. And those are the kind of things that, you know, I need to film. If it was just a regular Tamiya kit that you've seen already, you know, 100 times on the internet, then I'm not going to show that. I have too much stuff coming in to film every kit that comes in. But I want to at least show you as stuff comes in, if it's rare or, you know, a special car, I absolutely want you to see that stuff. So yeah, the Varicon Pandemonium from 1987. You'll see this one on the show. We're going to get this restored. We'll find a bumper. We're going to paint it. It's like a cream color right now. So I'm assuming it was never painted. I don't know if it's age yellowing or not. I'll be honest. It's so even that it looks like it came cream and was supposed to be painted white. But I haven't looked at the manual at all to see if it specs any kind of paint color. So when we do the video on that car and we actually get into restoring it, then at that point we'll have to visit that. The MRP, this car, you know, I don't know that we'll see this again on a standalone video. It does not need to be restored. Jason just restored it. He absolutely did a phenomenal job. It's here just to sit in the wall of fame and look good, and it's doing its job. It looks phenomenal, and I am excited to have it. But I don't think we're going to run it. Jason didn't want to run it. I would probably err on the side of caution. If he didn't want to run it, then I don't know that I would run it. I know with my Nico Brat, I wanted to run it, and it literally, you know, just taking it out of the cabinet broke 3 of its upper arms or lower arms just under its own weight. So if I would have run a car like that, it would disintegrate. And then we watch Glenn on RC Legends run his Pandemonium, and the front end shatters, right? So these plastics are just, they're 40 years old. And, you know, they're just not going to take that kind of abuse. So could I run it up and down the driveway? Probably I could. But is it worth it just to get a YouTube video out of it? I'm not so sure. So yeah, this one will probably just stay in the glass. It is what it is. Let me know in the comments, you know, if you guys really want to see it run. I guess, you know, if there was enough people that wanted to see it run, I guess I would give it a quick blast around, but it's not going to be anything crazy. I can tell you that right now. This one, though, I can't wait for. So if you're not already subscribed and have your notifications on, absolutely turn that on and hit that subscribe button, because we've got 4 Lamborghini Countaches to build. So we've got the original black one is already built, and then the Wall of Fame. So that one might get a restore. We'll probably see it on the channel, but we have an original blue kit to build. And then we've got the black Lamborghini Countach LP500 on the TT01 Type E. We're going to build that one. And then I've got this Scale Car Series Kyosho Lamborghini Countach. It's also going to be built on the show. So it'll be nice to be able to, you know, once they're all done, we'll be able to put all 5 of them kind of on the bench here and take a look at them all and just kind of compare them all from all the manufacturers. Obviously, I grew up in the 80s. I'm 46, and the Lamborghini Countach was, you know, the dream car as I was a kid. I definitely had a poster of it up in my bedroom. And it's going to be cool to build 5 from 3 different manufacturers just to see the detail. I'll be honest, from what I see so far, this one right here looks to be the most detailed. This literally looks like a model that just happens to have a motor in it. So yeah, I'm excited to see that get put together and be able to put it together and see, you know, the kind of detail that comes in it. I don't know if it has an interior in it or not. It shows an interior on the box, but it doesn't necessarily mean there is one. So it'll be cool to see that come together. And then, like I said, we've got the other kits here that came in. When we do our Super Shot restoration, you'll see the Super Shot new in box kit. When we build the Super Astute, I'll show you the Super Astute again. The Optima Mid, I don't know if I'll build that on camera or not. I want to concentrate more on some of the vintage cars. Maybe we'll show that kit when we're restoring one of the actual real mids that we have. We've got all 6 of them here. So maybe when we're doing a restoration on a real mid, we'll break that kit back out, and maybe we'll build it side by side, build that kit with the restoration of a real mid so that we can see all the differences. Although Jason, again, at True Vintage, just did a video on the mid Riri build, and he was showing the differences and the diffs and everything else. So if you are interested in that, absolutely check out his channel and check out that video. but maybe we build one up side by side in that sense. So until next time, like I said, like, subscribe, turn those notifications on. I thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you again.